Alright, so we're almost there. First thing you want to do is take that big screw, push it down in. Trick if you have a bit of problem, this metal sheath, because it is spring loaded, the breech is pushing forward on it. Hold on to it and push that way towards it, and then that screw should go down no problem. From there, just screw her down. Just hand tight, not too tight. And then from there, everything else should fit just perfectly. Alright. So yeah, so now we're putting our, I'm putting my small ones in here on where that rail is. Those two small ones. Alright, just kind of while I'm throwing this back together here, I'm just going to put in that, I did just, as I showed you, got the Gen 2 parts kit. I do plan to do a video on how to put those parts into your gun. Like I said, right now my TPX seems to actually be working okay, but once I start getting barrel breakage problems, or breech breakage rather, I'll probably end up swapping those parts in, and when I do, I'll do a video on that. It's just right now I'm planning on going to the D-Day scenario game up in Kitchener, Ontario, and the last thing I want to be doing right now is kind of stripping my guns apart and, you know, throwing new parts in there, because then that just kind of creates a bunch of new problems. Or with these parts, I think I've probably already encountered every problem you could possibly have. For example, nuts that fall out. Get back in there. Oh yeah, you can definitely tell I'm a pro at this. Alright. So just hand tight. You don't need them to be like, it's not a real gun. Don't have object traveling like 5,000 feet a second out of this thing, so you don't need it too tight. Alright, let's throw your barrel in. CO2 cap, clip, and you're done. Alright, and that's basically my video on the Tippmann TPX. Sorry, excuse me, if it was a bit long there. Of course, this is my first video of this type, and therefore, you know, still working stuff out. Have some tendencies that will get worked out over time, but till then, it's a bit of tips on how to kind of tech your TPX, how to maintain it, and just a couple things that I've picked up over time that hopefully will help you guys, especially that lube thing. Using thicker lube definitely seems to be doing making a big difference on the performance of this thing. So with some luck, I hope it'll keep shooting consistent like it is right now, and if it does, it could be a really awesome marker. So that said, just one other thing I wanted to throw in there was how to set your pressure relief valve. Being CO2, you do of course have fluctuations, and of course because of fluctuations, unlike HPA markers, which also have pressure relief valves, they can kind of set those at a standard and be really close to what the average operating pressure is. And that's of course because HPA is pretty consistent, at least in comparison to CO2. So of course CO2, you're going to have to do this setting yourself. And to do that, it is in the manual, but I just kind of want to throw it in here because a lot of people tend to not read manuals, no offense. And because even so, you might have forgotten about it or whatever. It's a good thing to know, and I just kind of want to throw it in here. So all you have to do for that is, of course, you have your velocity screw. After you chrono your marker, next thing you're going to want to do is set the pressure relief. You should probably do this technically every time you chrono your marker, but it's not, you know, as long as you do that at least once a day, you're going to be within the ballpark. To do that, all you have to do is after you chrono, take the smaller Allen key that fits down inside of here and turn that clockwise until you start to hear a leak. Back it off probably an eighth or a quarter of a turn, depending on how precise you were when you were screwing it in. After you do that, it should stop leaking. If it doesn't, don't keep turning. Give the marker a shot. Sometimes you're going to have to do that. Other times it will just stop the leak. I don't know why. Sometimes it does one and sometimes it does the other. That's just been my experience. So yeah, so just turn it counterclockwise a bit and then give it a shot if it doesn't stop leaking on its own, and then see if it does. If it does, you're good. If it's still leaking air, give it another eighth to a quarter of a turn back out and see if it stops, shoot, and just kind of repeat until you do get it to stop. That's going to set your screw at approximately the lowest velocity just above your operating pressure, so that way if you do get fluctuations in your CO2 gas, you're not going to shoot hot, which not only, you know, it pisses people off, of course, you're going to get paint breakage. So it kind of works both ways. And yeah, between that, the lube, and just generally maintaining your marker, it should fix a lot of people's problems with the TPX. I know I've been over this with a couple of people in my area, and some of them have had no real major issues with breakage. So I don't really know why some work and why some don't, but hopefully with those things you can either fix your marker or help figure out what your problem may or may not be. Like I said, for those Gen 1 guys, don't forget those Gen 2 parts, and when I put those in, I'll definitely be doing a video of how to put those into your TPX. So hopefully that'll help you guys, and till next time, go out there and have fun.